So my sister's story is that she was in her mid-30s and she kept meeting nice people and dating for a little bit, but it was like she wasn't married yet and she was wondering, am I ever going to get married and what's going on? Then she met somebody, a friend who was a single mom and had recently adopted a little girl through becoming a foster parent. So it was foster care to adopt. And something lit up in my sister and she was like, wow, I want that. I want to have a family. And so she made this big shift from like, what's wrong with me? Why aren't I married to? I'm going to have a family. And it was so contagious. I was so excited for her. And, just interested in the process. And she did this big application to become a foster parent. And very quickly, she was matched with a little girl who was 2. And there was a possibility that she would be able to adopt this little girl down the road. So that was all really exciting. And then about the same time, she met a nice guy. And they worked in the same office building and they had kind of very similar jobs and their education was very, very similar. And she started having lunch with him and it was, like once a month. And she was really busy with her little girl and becoming a mom. And, she also had a full-time job. And, so she kind of had the attitude with this guy, like, well, if I can't make it with my twin, this guy over here, just forget it. Maybe I'm not even going to get married. Just like she played the card of failure, which sometimes is the very best thing to do because it's just a way to release the whole situation and like lower your importance if marriage ever happens. So, for a while she was just like, whatever, maybe I'll never get married. At the same time, her gentleman friend was really busy with his life because his mom sadly had cancer and she didn't have very much time to live and she lived 2 hours away. So he was going every weekend to spend time with his mom. And at the same time, Becca was busy, super busy with becoming a new mother herself. But these two started to get to know each other better and really started falling for each other. And then Matt was just like, I'm just so impressed with what a great mom you are. And she was able to share, I'm just really impressed with like how great you are as a son and how good you're taking care of your mother. And so they had this real mutual appreciation that was really based in their values. So that was a really cool way to come together. And then they got engaged and they, talked about, well, maybe we'll have, we're going to have kids and like, should we start trying? They were both 39 at the time. So, anyway, they decided to start trying. Well, it all worked out that, the little girl my sister was able to adopt the little girl. And so they had that planned and they planned the wedding to be the same day as that court hearing. So there were going to be a family law court in the morning and then the wedding was that evening. Well, my sister found out the morning of that she was pregnant. So as it turned out, everything came together on the same day. She found out she was pregnant and then they had a little boy some months later, and she was able to adopt her daughter, and she got married to this great guy. So I just love this story because it's so how, sometimes they say God is a show off. It's like when it rains, it pours. When good things happen, they tend to just happen like one after another after another. And this is such an example of what it's like to be on the wave, to be riding the wave of good fortune. And it's just like one thing happens and another thing happens. And it's just like almost mind-blowing that it all can come together and in such a like incredible timing. But it's, to think about a story like this, it puts you on the wave itself. It's like it generates that feeling of just like, the synchronicity, the great, really good timing, the way all the rendezvous happened, the way it was just like so like orchestrated and so perfect. And when we think about those stories, whether they happen to us or they happen to another person, or even if they happen in a novel or a movie, but we contemplate it and we allow it to lift our spirits, it's like then we're energetically on the wave. So even if it's not from our own lives, we can still use other people's lives and their good fortune to lift ourselves. And when we do that, what it does is it like frees us up, because now we're not needing to generate so much. We're not having to work so hard in our own life. We can just look around us and look for all the good that's there. And there's like this natural tendency to see, like compare and be like, oh, the grass is greener, or look who got a new car or something. But if we can be happy for the other person, then we see the grass is greener and we're like, whoa, awesome, their grass is so green. It makes me so happy to look at that green grass. It makes me feel good. I just feel like the world is alive and is regenerating itself. And what we don't have to deal with when we're happy for another person, which is another added benefit, is we don't have to deal with the yes buts. Like we can just be happy for the lawn and not hear that little internal voice of, yeah, but, I've got a problem over here. Or, like the example of someone says, wow, I really like your shirt. And yeah, but I already have it stained and it's only a week old, It's like we do that to ourselves, this yes but when we can be happy for somebody else, then we can just be happy for them, just exactly as it is, without interjecting our own yes buts. The other thing is that if we can notice where our mind is going, and if our mind is worried about somebody, we can pivot that and turn it into something to be happy for. Just looking from a distance at someone else's life, it's really easy to see, oh wow, I'm really happy for them. They seem to be like having, really nice relationship, or they moved to a new place and I know that they're really happy about that new apartment. It looks like it's really nice. We can switch from worry, which doesn't do anybody any good, to being happy for them. Well, maybe it is that we don't even talk to them anymore, but you're like, well, I'm just happy for them that they're enjoying their life and they're busy with other things. That's a good thing too. Just one thing after another, we can just find a way to find the good in it and be happy for them. The other thing is, it's like this, with this being happy for another person, it allows you to take a very pleasant walk down memory lane in a way that is emotionally, is like of a very high emotional vibration. So rather than walking down memory lane and remembering the troubles or, the bad things that happened to you, you are able to walk, like even if you can't find those joyful stories in your own life, you can easily see them in somebody else's life and just like, wow, allow that, just excitement and enthusiasm for how things worked out for them to like speak to you and light you up. Because what you're doing then is you're seeing someone on the wave, riding the wave, and then you're like piggybacking right on the wave with them. And that allows you to have the momentum then to find your own wave. It's just like, you're in the vibration of it. So it doesn't even matter whether or not the same kind of thing happens to you, because it's like what you're really going for is that vibration, like to feel that feeling of, gosh, really good timing and everything coming together and someone's heart's desire being fulfilled, and someone just getting the idea, I want to have a family, like that's true for me and I want to hold that. I want to have a family. I can do that. Like that energy and enthusiasm and appreciation is really the vibration that we're looking for, and it's in itself, it's its own reward. So I just want to leave you with that. Like, it's kind of like a happiness hack, or a shortcut to happiness, or it's a lazy man's way to happiness. Is just look around you and find someone else to be happy for.